The other day, I was aim coaching a player who was new to aiming and aim training. During the session, we talked more about sensitivity than I do in like 95% of my sessions. Since this is such a struggle for so many people, I thought I'd share this portion of the lesson with all you guys. So, why don't you show me what a Valorant deathmatch looks like for you, just so I can get an idea what your aim looks like in game?
Do you want me to stream Valorant,
Yes,
yeah?
yeah, just share your screen, just share your screen.
Okay, just in case, do you want to know my grip type and my mouse and that kind of things?
What mouse are you on right now?
I was using the M2K.
Oh, okay, nice. I'm gonna
That
say I don't even need to like see or hear about your grip because there's really only one way you could grip that mouse.
yeah,
That is
exactly.
a nice setup.
I'm very used to this.
You do
The
not
only
need to.
thing is in game sensibility, I don't know. I just play around because I am never comfy with the Sen.
That's fine. Let's see. Let me pull up a little calculator for centimeters per 360 so I can figure out exactly what you're on. So you said right now you're running 0.14 Valorant sense, so that would be 30 centimeters per 360. Okay, what do you normally run? Or like what are some other senses you've tried?
I tried 0.8, but that's really low for me.
Okay, yeah,
I used to
50.
play at super high sensitivity, like 0.38. It was super good for Apex Legends, like searching in your inventory and that kind of things. But in tag shooters, I was very bad. Like it was too
Yeah,
fast that I just missed some micro adjustments, and how my hand is very shaky. It didn't help
the
in
only
that
guy I've
situation.
coached who's even touched sensitivities around that high was pro in Apex at some point. So I could see how there is benefits of that in Apex. And I'm guessing when you used it in Apex, you had a much lower ADS sensitivity, probably.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, that's so like that basically that higher sense allowed you to look around faster, do the things that you do in Apex that need to be fast
yes,
very
exactly.
easily, and then the ADS sense allowed you to do the long range aiming much more easily. So yeah, that's what that guy did noted. I'm not sure if you've heard of him. That's what he did as
No,
well. No, he's got like 600,000 subscribers on
but
YouTube. So
I used to do that, like
yeah, that's what a lot of
when I
Apex
play.
players will do. And you don't really ADS as much in Valorant, so it doesn't really work in
No,
Valorant. So you use that
yeah,
sense in
exactly.
Valorant and you can't aim. You're not really flicking around as much, and it's much more like controlled. Like you're basically in Valorant. Just am I streaming still? Aiming in like a small box, like this area, and just like micro adjusting onto someone. So you need something a bit lower. And yeah, if you were an Apex player, then you probably will be mostly it probably would be pretty uncomfortable to go down all the way to that 0.08 where it's like 50 centimeters. If I were you, I'd try like maybe try you're right now the centimeters basically the amount of centimeters it takes for you to do a 360 is 29. That's just like a standard unit so that like you can like figure out what a sense is across different games and aim trainers, right? If you tried 0.11, that'd be like 37 or maybe 0.12, which is like 34. Somewhere around that might feel a bit more comfortable because it won't really limit your movements too much. Like you'll still have a relatively high sense and in Valorant, like I'm guessing you use more of your wrist motions than arm motions when you're
Yes,
aiming. Yeah,
like yeah,
more
I don't use arm because I'm not
at
used
all.
to. Like it's very hard for me to do it. So
It's
usually for large movements, I use wrist, and when it's like really close, I use my fingers.
okay. You want to be able to use your arm to just some slight capacity, right?
Like
Because
sometimes I use it for large flicks.
that's good. That's good. I think we should have. So we'll have one playlist that's focused towards kind of like unlocking your arm movements, right? Just wider movements
Yeah.
across the table. And this basically, you'll play on a lower sense than you would in game, right? Maybe the 0.08 sense around that. And this will just like make you a bit more comfortable with your arm, not so that you stop using your wrist and fingers, but just so that you can be a bit comfortable on a slightly lower sensitivity, right? So that your
Yeah.
wrist and finger, because when you're on a slightly lower sensitivity, it feels like the targets are bigger. So you're able to make very small, precise motions with your wrist and fingers a lot easier. And you don't actually sacrifice that much in Valorant. There's just like the maybe one in every 5 to 10 gunfights that like requires a flick that you end up losing.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So that'll just be one of your plays. I'll probably make you like since you're only training for 15 minutes a day, I'll probably make you a variety of playlists. So as you can see, I recommended this player change his sense to something slightly lower. The only time I will ever recommend a sense change is when someone is playing on an unreasonable extreme. I believe it is far more important to work on the individual issues with one's aim than the settings someone uses, but if you are running something very high or extremely low, you will likely see some benefits spending some time on a more normal sense. If you can't tell if you're experiencing benefits and aren't sure which sense is best, sense is a non-issue for you. Forget about it. Thanks for watching, subscribe for more aim training content.